Here is a best practice Primavera P6 tip for heavy industry STO event scheduling by IAPSCC International Association of Planning, Scheduling, Controls and Coordination founder and chair, Mr. Ted Lister. If you're serious about learning and earning your digital credentials badge as a verified, professionally recognized, registered scheduler for shutdowns, turnarounds, and outages, these tips will help elevate you to the level of recognition and rewards you desire and deserve. Now, let's take a look at this 4-minute informative video. Note, IAPSCC members have access to the full lesson. Be sure to keep in mind that we're using an EPC scheduling software for STO. Try to forget about CPM, critical path method, of scheduling when you're scheduling and executing STO events, and think more about ASM, agile scheduling methodology. The first thing we're going to look at is the work breakdown structure, WBS, where we replace WBS with systemization and workfronts, SWF. We do this to create the mechanical windows from lockout-tagout to pre-startup safety review and create the longest path, coordinated workfronts, critical job package tasks, near-critical activities, and step-out plans for each job package. In this example, we'll look at the reformer system. You can see here the lockout-tagout date, handover to maintenance, and the pre-startup safety review date, handback to operations. Note, the reason we do not use critical path on STO events is due to the multiple systems being scheduled by priority, complexity, availability, density, execution strategy, and so on. We'll use critical systems and workfronts instead. You can see here the mechanical phase availability is from 7 a.m. May 9th to 11 p.m. May 18th, giving us roughly 21 shifts to complete all the approved asset, process, and mechanical integrity work assigned to the system. We create this window using a project calendar as shown here for the various systems and phases. I've created a curtain in the activities Gantt chart view to highlight the mechanical window for reforming. To replace the baseline, control float, and measure schedule variance, I've frozen my system start and finish milestones and used them to create a level of effort activity for expenses, indirect resources, and budgeting. Note, I refer to the connection between activities within a job package, task, as planning logic, which you can see here in this example of a step-out plan. I use relationships, strategic logic between job packages, sparingly, and I do not tie activities to milestones. It's not necessary. I only use relationships when strategically bundling job packages within a system or workfront, for example, parent equipment and its children. In addition, you can see how the float bounces off the window like a radar, giving me earned value and float melt or burn indicators. These methods are handled quite well with an AI agent such as ASM NAVi by NextGen Navigator AI Incorporated, a sponsor of this video. I've automated this layout with additional bars and filters to read the remaining float and use specific codes for AI collaboration when using the scheduling engine in P6, Shift plus F9. As float is melted, activity has not started and is moving with the data date, or burned if the activity has started but is taking longer than planned, or activities have been reprioritized and or coded for rescheduling to optimize the plan for the next 24 hours. Remember, we do not issue look-ahead Gantt charts to the workface. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to change activity duration to demonstrate the auto-filter coloring of bars based on remaining float. Just remember, we would not change the planned duration in the real world. Let's take a quick look at the definitions. Longest path, dull red, has zero float and might be critical, complex, or not critical. In other words, it's just taking up the entire window. Catalyst change would be a good example of a longest path. Then, we look at critical tasks, jobs, in bright red where remaining float is less than 24 hours. Next, we look at near critical activities in yellow where remaining float is less than 72 hours. What's important here is that as we reschedule each day or shift, activities will change color based on the remaining float. If you enjoyed this informative video, be sure to like, share, and comment. And if you're not already an IAPSCC member, register at www.iapscc.com. Thank you for your consideration.